Hello there, friends. Welcome back for another Trinity Stamps video. This is Cassie. Today we are going to be playing with some of the new products. We have our Simply Sentimental Lucky Stamp set. You guys know I love these. We're also going to be bringing in our Clover background foiling die. I'm going to show you, we're going to stamp with this. We're not foiling with it today. So there are more uses than just foiling, and I'm excited about that. We're also going to be bringing in the Dainty Scallop rectangle and our modern embossed rectangle. And I'm going to bring in some other products later on. I'll show you those because this was an evolving project. But I cut down some watercolor cardstock, just cut it down to be about 4 inches or 4¼ inches by however long it is. And I'm going to take some Rustic Wilderness Distress Oxide ink. I'm putting that all over our foiled background. Now, typically this is used for foiling, but you can get a really cool background just with some ink, and the Distress Oxide, so far from what I've found, works the best. It's still going to give me a little bit of a rustic feel, which is kind of what I was going for, and I'm also going to emboss it. So I did put a hinge on there using some mint tape, trying to be real careful not to move that around too much, and then I used whatever sandwich you need to use for your embossing or your die cutting machine, and I showed you mine. And then take a look at that. So not only did it emboss it, but it also stamped that into it. Super cool, right? And then all you have to do is just put a little water on it and wipe it clean with a microfiber cloth. And then you're ready to do your foiling or whatever you want to do with it next. So then I've cut that down using the modern embossed rectangle. You'll see that off there to the right, I did bring in the swirly heart die. And then I've spritzed a little water on our background just to kind of get the colors flowing a little bit. And then I'm going to heat set that because I want that to kind of evolve a little bit. Check that out. I love that distress look. And then I'm going to bring in the distress ink this time with my blending buddy. And that's the Rustic Wilderness. And then we'll just blend that all along the edge to kind of frame it up a little bit more. And so there you have it. I die cut out our Dainty Scallop rectangle and also our swirly heart. And then the other part of that swirly heart, I die cut out of some watercolor cardstock. And then I am using some saltwater taffy distress ink with one of my blending buddies. So I'm going to just go ahead and fill that all in with that. And then I'm going to spritz that with a little bit of water to kind of give it some distress look. Let that sit for a few seconds, wipe it up. And then I'll even bring in some more of that saltwater taffy and splatter that all over that background using some water. And then I'll even just take this heart and kind of just smush it into the color right there on my glass mat. Just, I don't know, just wanting to just dirty this up a little bit. Not really dirty, you know, just kind of just add some texture to that background. And then I'll heat set it till it is nice and dry. Like it a lot. And then I brought in the other Simply Sentimental, or one of the other ones. This is the Love one. I'm going to make my own sentiment. So look at how great these mix and match. I'm going to stamp out the Scripty Love from our Simply Sentimental Love, and then going with the Scripty Lucky, because I thought those just go so well together. And if you know me at all, I've been using that particular script a ton. And then the To Know You comes from our Simply Sentimental Lucky stamp set. I've got some black sentiment stock from Pear Blossom Press because it works so well with heat embossing. And so I'm going to bring in my Juicy embossing ink. I've got some white detail embossing powder, and we're going to go ahead and just stamp that sentiment right down on there. Cover that with that white detail embossing powder, and then we'll heat set that till that is smooth and melted. Now, like I said, I want to make my own sentiment here, so this one just happened to work the best for what I was going for. So I'm going to bring in my guillotine trimmer, and we're going to trim down the To Know You. All I want from this are to and you. We're not going to use no, because I wanted to say lucky to love you. I love that. I think that's super sweet. And it goes with our Clover background, and it also goes with our hearts. I just think this is going to be a fun card to give to anybody that you love, right? So just trimming that down a little bit. And then we can actually start doing some assembly of our card. But we're going to bring in the matching dies that go with this. Now, for the Lucky, it's not a see-through die. And so I have my own little, not mask. It's not a mask. It's my guide to go along with it. So I just tack that down with the die right over the top. And then I can die cut out the word Lucky. And I keep that with all the stamps and the dies. And then this love is see-through because it's a little bit bigger. So I'll just tack that one right down to it using that mint tape and die cut those out. And then we'll stop for a second for a little cuddle sesh with Miles. He's so funny. And then we can start doing some assembly. So I'm going to go ahead and use my crafty glue friend. This stuff is great. This will attach down that modern embossed rectangle right down to our dainty scalloped rectangle. They go well together. And then we can do the same thing with our little heart. Now that was released last month. See how well these hearts go with everything, because again, as I said before, hearts can be used year round. I love that. My base is some more white cardstock, 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, scored at 4 1/4. So it'll be a side folding A2 size card. And then I'll just glue down this panel to our card base. And then I'm going to use foam squares to pop up our heart, just to give it a little bit of dimension. Peel off the release paper on that. We can stick that right down. And then for our sentiments, we're just going to glue those down with more of that crafty glue friend. Trying to figure out how I wanted those on there. And I decided I wanted everything nice and centered. So I'm going to put down lucky. And then we'll put down love. I like that lucky is a little bit smaller than love. And then for our to and you, we're going to do the same thing. Just pop those down with some more of that crafty glue friend. Oh, I love that black contrast. This card makes me happy. So I also decided we needed some powder pink hearts. And they're not like super in your face on this card. They're kind of subtle in the background, but I love that powder pink. It kind of matches our saltwater taffy a little bit. Just picks up those lighter nuances of our saltwater taffy. And it makes my heart happy. So we'll put those down with our crafty glue friend and our pickup stick. And then I do have a scrap left from our stamping. And so I'm going to put this on the inside of our card. And I will have a little bit hanging over. So I'm going to just trim that down with my scissors. And once I do that, that's going to finish off the card. So yes, you can do more with those foiling plates than just foil. I love how this card turned out. I hope you do too. If you like it, hit the like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And be sure to check out all that Trinity Stamps has going on over on their blog, Facebook page, and Instagram for more crafty inspiration. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day.